We'll proceed with the commission meeting for Thursday, February 19th. I'll call it to order. Ask Commissioner Watson to lead us in invocation, and Commissioner Cook to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would everyone please stand?
Bow your heads. Father, we come before you today and we thank you for this opportunity to serve the customers of Glynn County. We ask that you guide and direct our decisions and that they be in the best interest of all involved. We also ask that you keep our team members out there safe as they work these county roads, and be with them and their families as we head into this year. Just guide and direct us in all that we do. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yesterday, we had two committee meetings. The Facilities Committee, we talked about change order that we approved for 4002 sewer rehab project. And we approved that project for some, to be presented to the full commission today. We also approved the purchase of some stuff that will allow us to control the liquid oxygen at the aeration tanks at the Academy Creek, which we hope will pay for itself in a couple of months. Also approved the purchase of some pumps, 3 pump stations. We conveyed some infrastructure. We had dedications of some infrastructure and conveyance of 3 easements. We also talked about the water production report. Water usage is up, but it's really well balanced now. On the water pollution control plant flows, every one of them about 50% less or 25% less, and that's because of the drought that we're having right now. So it happens this time of year sometimes when we do have this drought. We had a good capital project report, got to see a lot of good pictures, the project's on schedule, and I think our staff did a really good job. I'll ask the chairman of the Finance Committee to present their what happened at their meeting.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the Finance Committee, we had kind of a lively meeting. I had invited Mr. Owens to invite his staff in so they could be recognized individually and ask he had introduced each one of them and told what their roles were, their functions were in the Finance Department. I wanted to acknowledge the fact that, again, they had an audit without any reports at all. And, and again, what I said, the Finance Department is the operational backbone of this entire organization. So we really appreciated them. They got some nice pictures in too. So also we went down the agenda here. We also recommended approval for the change order for the CIPP project, the liquid oxygen feed changes, the lift station pump purchase. We also approve the surplus of one inventory item, which is I believe a 25-year-old truck, which doesn't run.
That's correct, sir.
A true gem for someone there. And we did an update on the banking signature cards. And as we went through the financial reports, we have one area that we're over budget, and that is the area of oxygen. And it's the one where we have a single source vendor, and it's something we'll be working on to try to address. Oxygen is obviously something we must have for the process, and the price keeps going up, and so we'll be working on something on that. And we did have some discussion on the upcoming software, the potential of purchasing new software, and we've had some discussion in that matter, which we'll be presenting, I'm sure, in the future fairly soon. So that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Cook.
Mr. Chairman, if I don't mind. I do have a legislative committee update if you'd like me to provide that as well, or I can wait till later on in the agenda.
That's fine.
Okay, great. This will be quick. I will say that Mr. Edgy and Mr. Neal and I have had some discussions about kind of our legislative priorities for this year, as well as Mr. Burrows and Mr. Neal and myself had a chance to spend some wonderful time in Atlanta over the last week. And so I'll pass out to the rest of the commission kind of some of the key items that we discussed with some of our elected officials and leaders in Atlanta. But I will say that we did make some progress on a couple major items. I think one of the big concerns we've had, as you know, is the bridge replacement at Dunbar Creek on St. Simons. And the initial design with DOT created some major conflicts with some of our existing infrastructure. And the latest design that has been approved now at DOT and is getting ready to go out for bid, we met with the commissioner earlier this week, and that bridge will be quite a bit farther north than the current bridge. And so that alleviates any conflicts that potentially cause with joint water and sewer, and so we don't have to do any relocations there. So that's good news. The other major piece that I feel like we had some significant progress with is the expansion of infrastructure that will support the port expansion over exit 29 and feeding our plant over there. As many of you know, the pipe that currently goes under 95 is not sufficient enough to expand our capacity there, and with more port activity, we're going to need more capacity. And so Mr. Burrows and myself have met with one of the primary tenants at the port and got their support, and we're anticipating a letter of support for our infrastructure there, as well as I met on Tuesday with the secondary, the second largest tenant at the port, and they also vocally gave me their support, and I'll be expecting a letter from them. The next step in that component then is to go to the Port Authority in the next month and ask them for some financial commitment to offset the estimated cost of about a $4.5 million expansion there. So because that main line and that force main is really only supporting the port, I don't really think they have much of an argument to say that it's not needed and that we're not in a positive position to get some additional revenue there to help offset those costs. So those are a couple just significant updates I wanted to share with the group.
That's a good report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We move to the approval section. Item 1, January 15th, 2026 meeting.
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes from January 15th, 2026 meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item 2 is minutes from January 14th, 2026, Commissioners' Workshop. We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the January 14th, 2026 Commissioner Workshop as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item 3 is executive session minutes from January 14th, 2026, Commissioners' Workshop.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the executive session meeting minutes from January 14th, 2026 as submitted.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Change order number 1, 4002 CIPP project, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir. So 4002 is in downtown Brunswick. You may recall that we have had a large lining project going on down there. Originally, it was bid out to rehab just shy of 27,000 linear feet of pipe with an original contract amount of $1,748,173. There were additional bid items in that package that were as needed for removing, for heavy cleaning, removing root balls from the lines, cutting laterals out of the way that may be intruding, things like that. So we knew at that time that we would need to do a change order as the project was nearing completion to encompass those items, because there was no way to accurately project how many of those they were going to need. As they were getting through that, they've done most of the smaller diameter pipe. Our contractor, Bionomics, has had significant staffing delays. Their project was supposed to be completed in 2024. We're about 18 months behind schedule. And they have had multiple staffing changes. We're on our fourth site manager or site superintendent since the project started. And they have reallocated resources from other states, from sister companies to try to complete the project. But in the process of doing that, the larger diameter iron lines downtown on Mansfield and near Reynolds and Ellis Street they've determined are not in sufficient shape to actually line those pipes, and they've requested those lines be de-scoped. They are worried that knocking the existing tuberculation off the lines to the point that they can reinstate the laterals will cause the pipes to fail, and they are not prepared to take that risk. They have requested us to de-scope that. They have said they will be happy to work on those lines if we gave them an increase to $10,500 per day for the cleaning, and they estimate 2 to 4 weeks per line segment to clean them. So we'd be at between $100,000 and $200,000 per segment of pipe to clean, with no guarantees that the pipe would be lineable upon cleaning. So this was presented to both facilities and finance. We do recommend de-scoping this. The conversation is that we will then, we're going to put out for survey and likely going to have to dig and replace these segments. We'll rebid this work for these de-scoped items with the opportunity if somebody thinks they could line them, because it would save substantial disruption to the community. But obviously these segments do need to be rehabbed. So the total reduction in cost is only $33,466, even though they're de-scoping about 3,000 linear feet of pipe, because those additive items were $234,000 versus adders. So the total change is a reduction of $33,466. They have committed, and this was added to the motion yesterday at both committee meetings, to have the remaining work outside of these de-scoped items completed by March 31st.
2026.
2026, that is correct.
Yes, thank you.
It's always good to specify.
Can I have a motion?
I'll move the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve change order number 1 for the 4022 Basin CIPP project in Bionomic Services, Inc. for reduction in the contract amount of $33,466 with work to be completed by March 31st, 2026.
Very true.
Could I add a correction there? You said 4022 for the record. It's
4002, pardon me.
Second.
We do have a 4022, but it does not need lining.
Okay.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Andy, can you show us right quick like where we are, so where it is? We're talking about the lines and that need to replace.
Well, I was trying to get there, but Todd had me on the island. So we talked about Reynolds Street. So the main areas are the 15 and 24-inch lines are by Glenn Academy on Mansfield Street, which is a great spot to dig. Certainly can only be dug during the summer months or over the winter break, and they're deeper lines. And the other ones are run up Reynolds Street in between the Pate Building and the courthouse, which is also a delightful spot to be digging 15, 20 feet deep for weeks on end. So
You're not encouraging that
Yeah.
just to get at us, are you?
So those lines are difficult. They are in the middle of the streets, and so they would require complete street closures in order to work on.
It's our opportunity to close around the street.
Yeah. Now, we've talked about pipe bursting. You could pipe burst these lines. The problem is these older lines, particularly in downtown Brunswick with the smaller lots, they've got laterals attached to them, and you have to dig every lateral to reconnect it. So if I've got to dig 12 different spots on the segment, I might as well just dig the whole thing, because you're going to have the same amount of dirt out of the way that you got to deal with. So we're hoping we'll bid it with all three opportunities when we rebid. Somebody wants to try to clean and line them, somebody wants to dig it, or somebody wants to do the pipe bursting and dig down. We'll see what the best cost of these lines are. These lines are 70, 75 years old, so they're nearing the end of their useful life.
In the next facilities meeting, can you show us a video of those lines?
Yes, sir, I can. I could probably get to them on here, but it'd take me a minute to find them. But I'll have it for next meeting, absolutely.
Are those standard sizes for pipes, or?
Most of ours are 8 and 12-inch pipe. 15 and 24 are not, they're normal size pipes, but we just don't have many at that size.
Not necessary.
They're necessary where they're at now. Those are large. 4002, that basin is the largest gravity basin we have.
I was wondering.
And the closer you get to the pump station, the larger the pipes get.
How long would it take for you to pull it out?
It'd be more me trying to find where it's at.
Just proceed.
Yes.
Any other questions? All in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Next item is liquid oxygen feed logic changes. Mr. Burrows?
Yes, sir. So we operate, as you mentioned on your update, a liquid oxygen system at Academy Creek. Most wastewater plants use blowers to push air through the system, but we have liquid oxygen that is delivered, and then we evaporate that and inject into the headspace. That is a manual adjustment process right now to get that system to raise or lower the DO. It is the second largest expense in our operating budget after wages. The last three full fiscal years have averaged $1.76 million. And if we were able to automate this system, we're able to have more consistent feed and reduce the manual operator intervention. Electric machine control has done extensive SCADA work for us and automation improvements at different pump stations and at Dunbar Creek. And we have seen improvements in all of those areas. We asked them to take a look at what it would take to automate the liquid oxygen system. They have provided a quote to do that for the required materials, labor, and engineering to make this happen at a quote of $45,808.10. For a traditional blower-driven system, when you get dissolved oxygen control online, you can save 15 to 30% of the power cost. 15% of the power cost means this would pay for it. 15% of the oxygen cost means it would pay for itself in 2 months. And I actually think if it's done correctly, we'll save more than 15%. So this could be a literally 30-day payback period once it gets put online. So it's 4 to 8 weeks to get it taken care of, and this will be paid for out of the operations budget with the hope that this is online prior to next fiscal year.
You have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the agreement with Electric Machine Control, Inc. for the automation of our liquid oxygen feed control at the Academy Creek wastewater plant in the amount of $45,808.10.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and second. Any questions? The one thing about the liquid oxygen, it enables our basins to be smaller, and also you can treat higher strength wastewater, or industrial wastewater. That's why this plant's a little bit different than the other plants. So if we can get control of that oxygen, it'd be good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might have to look into producing it ourselves.
Which would be a substantial investment.
Did we vote?
We have no vote, not voted.
We got a motion?
Yes.
All in favor? Lift station pumps purchase, Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. So we have 3 major pump stations throughout Glynn County that need pump repair or replacements. Pump Station 2003 is on Stewart Avenue in Oglethorpe Park on St. Simons Island. Pump Station 2030 is on Stranger Cemetery Road behind Frederica Academy and Hamilton Landing on St. Simons. And then Pump Station 4119 is at the intersection of Highway 99 and Golden Isles Parkway. We have pulled these pumps and sent them to get repair quotes, and then once we got repair quotes, we got replacement quotes. And we'll explain that shortly. So we've got one pump at Pump Station 2003 that we've sent off. The cost to repair that pump is just shy of $37,000. It has already had one repair of over $20,000 to that pump in the last 5 years. And the cost to purchase a new pump from Pump and Process, which is a KSB model pump, is $50,968. We'll jump down to 4119 because it's easier to explain than the other one. 4119 is an existing Wheelo pump that has been pulled. The cost to repair is $41,000, and we can buy a new pump for $33,000. I usually don't like repairing things for $8,000 more than a new one costs. So we recommend replacing that with a Sulzer pump sold by Hydroservice. And then Pump Station 2030, most of our pump stations are duplex stations, so they have 2 pumps. Pump Station 2030 is a quadplex station. It has 4 pumps in the station. They're all sized the same way, and we have had 3 of those pumps that are pulled out. Now, there's 1 pump in the station and a permanent bypass there, so we're okay at the station, but we do need to get these pumps repaired. We got the repair quote for the combined cost of repairing all 3 of those pumps is just shy of $46,000. What we are recommending, instead of putting back all the same size pumps, we have wide-ranging flows between the middle of the day and the middle of the night there because the flow is residential. We want to put in 2 primary larger pumps that will run during the day and 2 smaller pumps that run at night so that we don't short circuit the pumps on those on that station. And so the primary pumps are recommended to be the KSBs from Pump and Process at $27,933, and the Sulzers for the smaller, what we call jockey pumps, at $18,687.50. So the motion would be to buy 3 pumps from KSB in a total from Pump and Process at $78,901, and 3 pumps from Hydro Service at $51,697.50.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the purchase of pumps as presented from Pump and Process Equipment in the amount of $78,901 and from Hydro Services Incorporated in the amount of $51,697.50.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions?
We'll do this, our staff will replace.
Once the pumps get here, we'll do the installations, yes, sir. Now, they will require new bases. Those are part of the pump quote, new bases to be installed. We'll handle all the installation.
Few of those stations pump all of the wastewater to medical different directions. So there are 2 main stations on.
Anything south of Community Church on St. Simon's will go through one of these 2 pump stations.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Next thing is surplus inventory items, Mr. Burr.
Yes, sir. I've got a great deal for someone here. We'd like to declare a 2002 Sterling Hotshot Jetter truck as surplus. It is non-functional, and the repairs vastly exceed the value of the vehicle. It has not been in service for many years, and it has been sitting at a lot off of near Fletsey that we have some storage area at, and we would like to declare this item as surplus and dispose of it in the manner most beneficial to the JWSC, which typically is placing it on Gov Deals to see if someone would like to purchase it for whatever value it does have. We do have pictures if anyone is interested in purchasing off of Gov Deals. It has not ran in many years.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Have a motion?
I'll move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water Sewer Commission approve the above listed items as surplus to dispose of in a manner most beneficial to the JWSC.
Second.
I have one question. We do remove the logo from the truck before it's, no? We let them do
Did we
that?
take the logo off?
We-
Okay. Most of them, we got rid of. The logo is not really visible anymore by the time we get.
If we can get it off, we take it off, yes.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Yeah. 25 years old. It's iffy anyway, right?
After you take it off, like.
You still got the faded, yeah.
Yeah.
Commissioner Watson was looking for a used truck for a hunting truck. We'll let him pick that one off of Gov Deals for us.
With logos, with logos.
You could have your hunting platform on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Looks pretty good. It looks like it's clean.
That's right. Pressure wash that.
Y'all know what that was used for?
Do I know? Yes, sir.
What it was used for, then that might have second thought.
We use it for smaller lateral cleaning. So we have other ones like that. Our normal jetter trucks don't do 4-inch lines very well, so those are used for smaller lateral cleanings, blockages, grease, roots, things of that nature.
Okay.
So it was well used when it was running.
All in favor? Carries 7-0. Banking signature card update, Mr. Owens.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. This is a routine housekeeping item that we have about every year. Our standard practice is to have 5 signatories for our banking and investment accounts. Typically, the chairman, vice chairman, executive director, deputy executive director, and myself, director of finance. The reason for having 5 is that per our financial policy, we have a requirement of 2 signatures for any check $5,000 or more. And similarly, our investment accounts, which are dealing with much larger sums of money, require 2 signatures for movement of funds. With this year, with the appointment of Commissioner Watson to the vice chairman position, we need to update our signature cards. So at this time, we're asking the full commission to approve the chairman, vice chairman, executive director, deputy executive director, and Director of Finance be authorized as signatories for our banking and investment accounts and to sign all necessary signature cards.
Motion.
I'll move the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission Chairman, Vice Chairman, Executive Director, Deputy Executive Director, and Director of Finance be authorized as signatories for banking and investment accounts and to sign the necessary signature cards.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Indicate by raising your hand. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Construction, dedication, and conveyance of easements, Mr. Brown.
Right. Chairman, Commissioners, good afternoon. There are two items to consider on this agenda item here. And one is first is known as Enclave, and this is actually Phase 2B. This is off Glencoe Parkway. This is resulting from private growth development, next phase that was built for that apartment complex off of Glencoe Parkway. And this is actually 10 buildings out there that result in about 204 new apartments. New families are associated that will be using our water and sewer services. And 2,232 linear feet of water lines valued at about $470,000, and 2,600 linear feet of sewer lines valued at about $590,000. Easements and such associated with that. Record drawings are attached as well. Second item is Hyundai of Brunswick off of Altama Avenue. Growth of that dealership out there, and these easements are simply to encompass already existing infrastructure, water and sewer lines, assets that were already understood to be owned and operated and maintained by the Joint Water and Sewer Commission. So we worked with the developer to go ahead and acquire those easements at this time. Made sense to do it at this time. That cleans that up for us. Everything else on site is going to remain privately owned and maintained. Those are the two items. I'm happy to answer any questions or pull up on GIS if you'd like.
In the apartment complex, are those individual meters?
No.
No?
Each, go ahead.
Each building is metered.
Correct.
Building,
correct.
okay. that's
Not
what I was-
individual units are metered.
Correct, yes.
And the Hyundai project, is that sewer line just servicing Hyundai?
It is. I understand that it was placed in the ground some time ago in preparation for a future expansion of the neighborhood that's adjacent, which never happened. I presume the property changed hands.
So we can tie other people to it, I guess.
But potentially, yes, sir.
Potentially, unlikely, because it's wholly and located on their property. So likely, no one else will tie onto that piece.
They know that we want to be conveyed to us.
They provided the conveyance documents. Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions?
With that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve these requests to accept infrastructure and easements with associated documentation as applicable.
Second.
Motion second. Any other questions? Anyone, all in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Conveyance of easements, Mr. Donovan.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. You have before you two more easements been previously dedicated or committed. The first is an easement for some lines around Glynn County Fire Station Number 2, located at Demery Road in St. Simon's Island. This is part of the airport project that Commissioner Neal was so gracious to help us with this year. The second is a easement that came about as a sewer trunk line that goes across some property owned by Jared LLC at 200 Indigo Drive. We found this sewer line while we were getting the other issues with this property cleared up with a lift station as part of the property cleanup project.
Have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the easements from Glynn County, Georgia and Jared LLC, and authorize the chairman to execute any and all associated documents with these transactions.
Second.
Motion is second, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Next item, Executive Director's report.
Yes, sir. A couple of major project updates. The Clarifier project that was awarded last month, we had the kickoff meeting scheduled for it on Monday, so they can begin doing the pre-construction work. They'll have us a guaranteed maximum price within 90 days per contract from Monday to get that work completed. The ARCO Connections project, we have a meeting on site Monday as well for them to begin making connections next week on that project. We have 40 customers that are ready to go, and we have ordered materials, and they have arrived for Mr. Stone to get working. He's already called locate, so they should be good next week. He can start installing next week. And then also next week, we have a pre-proposal meeting for a water project to do SCADA improvements at all of our well sites, and also redo the electrical systems for 3 of the 4 wells on St. Simon's Island. That the proposals are due March 24th, so we should have that for you at the April meeting for consideration. And then at the March meeting of the Finance Committee, we will have the first draft of the budget for your review. So everybody get excited.
Commissioners discussion.
I have one update. I met with Mr. Burrows and Ms. Roberts almost 2 weeks ago to get information about the employee compensation study, and we reached an agreement there. We're going to shoot for getting information from about 12 utilities that would be similar in size to us, and we'll be looking at classes of job titles. And what to also tie around with that, we're also going to look at the median home price, median income, and probably include the average price of a 2-bedroom apartment rental so that we can compare the areas here. We're planning about a 6-week time frame so that we can, if there is any indication of any increases in salaries for anyone, it could be included in the upcoming budget discussion. So we'll look forward to getting that information. Mr. Burrows also had a great suggestion about getting some information from other utilities next week, I believe you're going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to a utility forum next week, and I'll be meeting with a bunch of different directors at that. And so we'll just talk about that. And one of the things I'm going to bring up, GWP is a trade organization for water utilities in the state of Georgia. Perhaps we could, as utilities that are members of that organization, all provide information to GAWP where they could produce an annual salary survey amongst its membership that would be applicable to a statewide situation rather than individual utilities doing their own surveys. And we just all provided it to them and they could compile it all. We could all save some money in the long run.
Right, so, anyway, that's my update. We'll look forward to when we gather the information and bring it back to you as needed.
Certainly.
I would add to that, Glynn County just finished its housing study, and that information could be made available.
Great.
I have a copy of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. All right, yeah.
And there's parts of it that I really like, parts of it that I think is flawed, but that's personal opinion. on
Understood.
that.
Yeah. Right. Well, that'll be helpful in, making a determination, so.
Any other remarks? Chairman, I would just like to express my appreciation to every one of the commissioners this year. So far, the committees have really gotten involved, and I appreciate that. It makes everybody's job a lot easier, and it's really good for the staff for us to be involved. So I hope we keep up the work, and I hope we have a really good year. We do have to go into executive session.
For
about
property. Yes, sir.
Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we go into executive session for the discussion of property.
Second.
We'll adjourn to go into executive session.
You didn't vote on it.
Oh, do we need to vote? Yes. All those in,
7-0.
7-0.
which I think I've got enough. We'll see.
Started coaching T-ball last night.
Thanks.
It is cat herding, but not as cat herding as basketball was. That's basketball, good.
I think you.
Thanks, dear.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries. Andrew, do you want to talk about this at all?
That's what Commissioner Savy had mentioned.
Yeah,
Okay,
just for your reference.
okay.
So it's just, what I provided to the legislative committee for their trip to Atlanta to discuss, and they've scheduled some meetings, got some more meetings scheduled, just what they'll be working on moving forward.
Happy to answer offline any individual specific questions.
Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Meeting's adjourned, thank you.